The NFL is finally back. It's been a long time coming. We are 1 day or 0 days away, depending on what day you're watching this video, from Ravens Chiefs opening up the season, which that's going to be a barn burner. That's going to be an amazing game to start the season. Shout out to the NFL for giving us that on the first night. Just kind of like the Chiefs Lions last year was a great game as well. But today, what I'm going to be doing is going through all of my preseason awards predictions. I even threw in a couple other extra ones. And I'm going to make this kind of a monthly series where I go through like week 4, week 8, week 12, and towards the end of the season, kind of throughout the season, give my opinions on where I think it's at with these awards. And then also look back and see if I called it here or not. And then you guys can bow to me or make fun of me. Doesn't matter to me. So we're going to go through 9 different awards. Obviously your standard MVP, Comeback Player of the Year, Offensive, Defensive, Rookie of the Year, Player of the Years. And then I'm also throwing in Game of the Year and number 1 offense and number 1 defense. Just to make it a little more fun instead of just going through your standard typical ones. So without further ado, let's hop into the number 1 offense. This season, I think when you look into the offensive side of the ball throughout the league, you have got teams like the Chiefs, who are always going to be a great offensive team when you have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback. You look at the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, the running back tandem of Achane and Mostert. Tua, even though people are up in the air about him, he's still decent. He puts up numbers. You look at the Niners, the Lions. I don't think any of them are going to be the number 1 offense statistically. I think there is one team, and that's the Texans, that is going to be better on the offensive side of the ball. They had an insanely good offseason on both sides of the ball, but on offense specifically, you got Joe Mixon from the Bengals, you got Stephon Diggs from the Bills, and then you're adding it on to C.J. Stroud, Dalton Schultz, Tank Dell, and Nico Collins. You also have John Mechie, who's a speedster. We'll see kind of what happens with him as well, but I don't think C.J. Stroud's going to have a sophomore slump. I don't think any of that's going to happen. I think he's going to come out. They're going to come out and ball all season long. I think they're going to lead the league in almost every statistical category. It's going to be a fun season for Texans fans. A long time coming as well. Number 1 defense, on the other hand, is usually like the Browns or the Jets, things like that, the Niners. I think personally it's going to be the Steelers this year. What they did is they went and they got Patrick Queen, not McQueen, sorry. They went and got Patrick Queen from the Ravens, and he's going to take the attention away from TJ Watt, who's also going to be able to just wreak havoc. You got Joey Porter Jr., who's playing really good, and you also got Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's a top safety in the league. They have no weaknesses really on that side of the ball, and they're always a good defense anyways. So adding another star like Patrick Queen is going to be very helpful to them. Offensive Player of the Year usually is not a quarterback award. In that case, this year it could go to Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, guys like that. But this year, because of my MVP pick, you got to go. Patrick Mahomes is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. Now, everyone's going to be in the comments now, Shane, why the hell is Patrick Mahomes not your MVP? He's the best player in the league. Yes, I get it. Doesn't mean he's going to have the best season, okay? Travis Kelce's getting a little old, can get banged up pretty easily. And then you got guys like Rashee Rice, who's going to get suspended. They just let go of Kadarius Toney, which that probably actually helps Mahomes' odds. And then you got Xavier Worthy, who's good, but he's still a rookie. It's just, I don't think that Patrick Mahomes is going to have the best season out of everyone. Yes, he's the best quarterback, but it's a matter of, I don't think he's going to put up the best numbers compared to everyone else. But being Patrick Mahomes, he's still going to put up amazing numbers. So I'm still picking him for Offensive Player of the Year. Don't be surprised, though, if this changes. Say Tyreek Hill is nearing in on 2,000 yards, or Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Christian McCaffrey has 1,000 yards apiece, or something crazy like that. Don't be surprised if this changes. Defensive Player of the Year, I think I kind of alluded to it earlier, so I'm just going to get right to it. It's TJ Watt. I think it's going to be TJ Watt. Like I said, Patrick Queen taking attention away from TJ Watt. He's not going to get double, triple teamed as much. He's just going to go and wreak havoc on all those quarterbacks. and they're going to need it towards the end of the season with that hard of a schedule. I don't see a reality where he gets sub 15 sacks this year unless he gets injured, I guess, which anyone can ever get injured. But it just boils down to it. He's always in the running. He's always top defensive player in the league. So I think it's right that I think he's going to take it this year. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Now you look at the landscape of things, you don't really have a ton of options. Michael Penix is a backup. Bo Nix is in Denver. Doesn't really have a ton of good weapons. Same thing with Drake May in New England. It's just there's not a ton of talent around the league. Rome Odunze is great. He has, from everything I'm hearing, he's got a chance to become the wide receiver 1 at the end of the season with how good he's performing in camp. But it's going to come at the expense of my pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year, Caleb Williams. I don't think there's anyone else here that's really equipped to be Offensive Rookie of the Year other than Caleb. I think he will hit that 4,000-yard passing mark for the first time in Bears history, and I think that alone, like, he could throw 40 interceptions, but if he hits 4,000 yards, first quarterback to ever do it for the Bears, I think you automatically have to give him Offensive Rookie of the Year. So, to me, that's a no-brainer. Now, Defensive Player of the Year, from everything I looked at, I'm not too familiar with the defensive side of the ball for rookies this year, at least. And so I was kind of iffy, and so I kind of leaned on other experts. I'm going to raise my hand. I completely leaned on other experts' picks for this. And they all went with Colts rookie. I'm going to butcher this name, so please correct me in the comments with proper pronunciation. Laiatu Latu. I'm just going to call him by his last name, Latu. I believe he's a D lineman from UCLA. The only other guy I know that got drafted is Jared Verse that I can remember off the top of my head. So I don't really have a ton of reasoning for this. Colts defense is usually pretty decent, so I don't anticipate him like not being good. So this might change as far as this will change, I'm sure, as far as the season goes on, and I kind of see what other rookies are playing, what other rookies are playing good. Now, Comeback Player of the Year, you've got a lot of options. You've got Nick Chubb, who I don't think is going to win it because I don't think he's quite ready yet, so I don't think he'll have a full season. And I think it's going to be kind of another Geno Smith type year, but this time for Baker Mayfield, where you get a guy who's gone team to team to team to team, mediocre seasons, finally lands somewhere that gives him a real shot, and he plays really well. So I think that Baker Mayfield landed in Tampa Bay. I think he's going to play really good this year. I think he's going to have a great season. He's got Rachaad White, who's a great pass-catching back. Then you got Mike Evans, obviously, Chris Godwin, Kate Otten. He can run the ball still. I don't think he's bad. I think this might change. We'll see. But right now I'm going with Baker Mayfield as my Comeback Player of the Year. Now, Game of the Year. I didn't look at the full season because there's a lot of games, but one stood out to me right away, and I was like, I don't think there's a game that is going to match the hype and the intensity and the chance to become an absolute barn burner classic, instant classic. And that is Bengals Chiefs Week 4. Bengals travel to Arrowhead, or Burrowhead as some people call it, and take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. This is a rematch of AFC championships in the past, and the whole Burrow's 3-1 against Mahomes in Arrowhead, the atmosphere. I believe this is a night game as well. I don't remember which one. I'm just really excited for this game. I think this has all the makings, and it's shaped up to be the game of the year, undoubtedly. I could see this easily being a high-scoring affair like the Rams-Chiefs game from, what was it, 2019 or something like that, where it was like 54-51, or this could be a defensive classic, a masterclass by Burrow and Mahomes. So I don't think there's another game that's going to top this one. And last but not least, we've got MVP, Most Valuable Player Award. Like I said in the beginning, I don't think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes, just because I don't think he's going to have the greatest season. Now, it's not usually a non-receiver award or a non-quarterback award. So we can kind of, unless someone like Tyreek Hill, Jay Jettas, Christian McCaffrey have like career record-breaking career years. Then we'll talk about it down the line in another video. But I think the MVP for this year is pretty simple at this point, really. I think it's going to be the best player on the best offense. And to me, right now, that is CJ Stroud. Oh, Shane, he's going to have a sophomore slump. You're going to be embarrassed by this pick. I don't think he will. And if he does, then I will eat my words and my pick will change. And you guys can clown me for it in the comments. But as of the making of this video, I don't think CJ Stroud's going to have a bad year. I think he's going to have the best year. I think he's going to improve drastically. He's going to have a great season. I think he's going to put up over 4,000 yards, 30-plus touchdowns, and I think he'll be less than 10 picks, maybe 10 picks, 10, 15 at the most. But it's going to be a masterclass from CJ Stroud this season. I am all in on CJ Stroud and the Texans, and I'm a Seattle fan, so I don't have any hate towards him. They're the AFC and everything like that. So I'm really excited to see what CJ Stroud and this Texans team does. So there's my picks for preseason NFL awards predictions. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe. Make sure you don't miss out on the monthly awards. I'm also going to do this for every week's games. I'm going to predict the slate of games for that week. So please be on the lookout for that as well. But I appreciate you guys. I will see you in the next video. Peace.